I am holding in my hands potentially the world's smallest 4-camera live streaming switcher. It's an Intel NUC Hades Canyon with a custom setup. I'm going to show this to you in this video, so all this and more coming up next. So here it is. I want to show you guys how we built a 4-port SDI box. This is a switcher with an 8th generation Intel i7 processor, an AMD Vega, that is a graphics card. In this box, it's smaller than a football. So I have to thank really quickly Kate Koch from Magewell, Daryl Spangler from Mobile Video Devices, and then Doug Girdwood from micro SATA cables and also Go Right. And those guys helped me put this together so I could show you guys. This is just so amazing. Let me show you the clip of putting this together. It's pretty cool. So here I am taking out the, this is the Intel NUC Hades Canyon plate. If you followed along, you guys saw me do this and have an issue because I couldn't fit everything in there. Essentially, Magewell has an M.2 card. M.2 is a super fast connection directly to the motherboard of your processor and computer that allows you to attach super fast SSD, solid state hard drives, and other really cool devices like this. Right there, that is a 4-port micro SDI card. And the first time I saw this, I was like, what the heck is it? I started looking into it, but now we can connect up to 4 SDI ports directly to our computer, and they come up as selectable cameras with ultra low latency. As you can see here, I'm plugging in the SDI ports for the camera right there, and that is what is called a panel mount SDI connector. So on the back end, we can screw it on really tight, and then we can come over to the 4-port SDI card and connect it in. So this plate on the top here, we installed, it's from Go Right, and it gives us about 1.5 inches that we need to come off of the entire motherboard there with all of the chips and everything to get these cables in securely and have those custom 4 SDI connectors there with the backplane mounts. And I got all 4 SDIs connected, and once they're connected, you get these cables potentially are supposedly going to be, they came with my M.2 Echo Capture Quad SDI card from Magewell. They're just a tiny bit longer than they need to be, but they wrap up nicely. I just used a little tiny connector cable there, just a little metal cable. You've used those before, zip tie, if you will, and just looped it around once so that I could connect into the micro SD connectors there. You can see 4 micro SD connectors in a single M.2 slot, the same size as a terabyte super fast Samsung SSD card as well right there. So we've got the ability to turn a Intel NUC Hades Canyon into a 4-camera 1080p 60. I would imagine, I think they have a 4K version of this too that can do 1 or 2 4K inputs as well. And utilizing that 8th generation Intel NUC, Intel processor there, the i7 processor, that's 8th generation. And the only other thing to note is that this Intel Skull Canyon, the little light up skull that's usually right there, that connects to the motherboard, it actually takes up a tiny bit of power, does not fit in this configuration. So we had to take that out. And then the other thing that I did improperly was I put these 4 screws on before I put the top plate on. So the top plate does go on there first. You put that, so I had to unscrew those and put the top plate on. But that is it. That's how it's done. And I'm very stoked. I mean, just imagine bringing this in a tiny purse or little backpack. And in fact, it even comes with a little case. I mean, this is tiny. Look at that. It's tiny. It's got 4 camera ports, 2 NIC cards, okay? So we're talking about, let me show this actually really quickly on the overhead camera, just to show you all the connectivity here that we are going to be, you guys are going to be loving. I'm just like freaking out about this. So we've got 4 SDI ports, right, for all of our cameras. We have 4 USB 3s. Now keep in mind, there's more on the front too we can take a peek at. You can have up to 6 HD video outputs. You've got an HDMI there, you've got 2 Thunderbolts, 2 display ports, and an HDMI on the front. I mean, it's insane. You've got dual NIC cards. So if you want to have one NIC card for a local area network where you're doing all your NDI or local video production, and then your second video source for your local area network, and then I'll flip it around just really quickly to show the front here. You can see that we've got another 2 USB 3s, super speed. This green one here actually has super charging capabilities, is what it's called, to charge smartphones really fast. Another USB-C, a Ethernet out. I love the, I don't know how well you guys can see that, but there is an SD card there as well. The SD card, I love popping in SD card footage really quickly if I'm running and gunning at a live stream and I want to go ahead and, you know, grab some footage off my drone or off my camera, pop it into this baby. I've used this for live streaming multiple events. It kicks butt. There's only one issue with it as of right now, is that the AMD processor doesn't support FFmpeg, and that was a bummer. The processor is more than strong enough to handle streaming without the need for the graphics card, but I have to figure out something with AMD because that FFmpeg is an issue. Supposedly they support it now, but it's just so brand new that not a lot of the streaming software supports it. It's the only issue with this right now is that Vega card is kind of unusable except for certain gaming solutions. Now they do have their own streaming encoding process from what is it, the AMD Vega. I haven't looked into that yet, but this is your first review. Very excited about this, specifically because this is the first miniature microcomputer that can really handle 4 SDI inputs. So if you're streaming and you need FFmpeg, you know, we got to figure something out there, AMD, if you're watching this. I've got a couple ideas I haven't played around with just yet, but if you're using it for 4 cameras with switching, streaming, recording, and you're not looking at, you don't think you need to use that graphics card, which would be nice, AMD, but we'll figure that one out. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and join our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/StreamGeeks. That is where we talk about this kind of stuff. This came from the Facebook user group. A lot of you guys out there were asking about it. So here it is, done. So excited about this. This is my new little baby, and I'm taking it home with me. Take care, everybody.